Punchline with Kelly Pavlik and James Dominguez.
Pavlik rips into him with a huge left hand to the body.
The Punchline,
boxing's most interesting podcast.
Kelly Pavlik relentless when he got Hernandez.
In the middleweight division.
You're back with the Punchline with Kelly Pavlik and James Dominguez. Today's episode is brought to you by Three Brothers Tent Rentals. Here to service any of the needs you have, from weddings, funerals, banquets, graduations, amateur boxing matches. They do it all. So look them up and give them a shout out online. Mention us and get a discount. Today we brought on special guest, one of my favorite people, and I know one of yours too.
One of my best friends.
Yeah,
my best friend.
And my brother, Roger Romo.
What's going on, Roger?
How you guys doing, man?
Good. How are you?
How you guys doing, brother?
Good.
I'm good, man. I'm good, man. I'm busy. Been busy working and well, it doesn't even feel like work when you're doing what you love. You're around boxing every day now, so I'm doing all right.
Well, we've done a lot of shit that wasn't fun, so yeah, I imagine that this kind of work is not considered work. You've done construction,
Exactly.
You've done a little of everything.
Yeah, and I did it because I had to do it. But this is absolutely not considered work. This is I see it as I'm helping a bunch of guys trying to fulfill their dreams. So I see it as,
Yeah, but man, you're lucky too because you got a lot of top guys in the sport right now, prospects, champions that you're able to work with too. Which
right.
Pretty badass.
I think everybody has their era. Mexican fighters and American fighters, and everybody has their era. And I think right now, Eastern Europe it's booming, man. You got Triple G, who pretty much is leading the way, but you got guys like Kovalev, who we get to see every day, and the Matrix Lomachenko, he's just something else, man. You see that guy training, it's unbelievable. So all these guys want to follow in their footsteps. They come with the desire and the hunger, and they work hard. They don't party. All it is.
That's what me and James were talking about. Like, it's not only the fact of the how talented the world champions are that you got, and some of the top prospects. It's like they're bringing them over in boatloads. I mean, just filled with so many guys. Like I seen when we were talking, when we went down to the fight in Washington D.C. and you had to stay back because we really wanted to hang out and bullshit with you, but you had to stay back because you had so many guys. And just the talent and the guys that you have, I mean, it's you can't even count on fingers how many guys you got, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty more coming in. And I don't know what it is over there, what they're feeding them or what it is, but them guys, I mean, they're not only strong and hard punchers, which the Russians and Eastern Europeans that were always known for, I guess mainly since Rocky IV, but talent-wise, skill, athleticism, how good they are,
Yeah.
Right. And there's we work with them on that daily, and I'm glad, I'm fortunate to. I mean, the whole thing with Robert leaving the gym, and he left Marco. Marco was there. Marco was working along Robert for years. Kelly, I mean, I think you worked with Marco, so
yes, I did.
It was perfect. Like, I mean, the opportunity just fell into my hands, man. I was going to school for it, and my brother Cecilio, he asked me to help him, and it's been going on ever since. And we work with these guys daily, man. And honestly, it's fulfilling to help these guys win fights, and when they tell you thank you and they hug you and they say, oh, because of what we did, it's something that I never thought I would get unless I was fighting myself. But these guys actually showed me different, and I love what I'm doing.
Well, for those who don't know, for our fans, Roger is working with a lot of the new and up and coming Russians today, Russian fighters and Eastern Europeans. He works with Lomachenko, he works with Kovalev. He's working as assistant strength and conditioning coach, and he's also filling the role of an assistant trainer too with these guys. And so tell us about your background, Roger. Tell us about you as what led you to where you're at right now.
Oh man, the computers are going off on that one.
Well, my background. I mean, we're from Oxnard. I mean, grew up here. Big brother Fernando Vargas. He pretty much set the way for fighters in Oxnard. Well, him and Robert Garcia, and that's. I mean, we all grew up together.
Yeah.
I trained amateur under them, and I worked with them, and I stopped for a while, but I was always around the sport. I ended up always being in camp with my brother Fernando through probably his third or fourth pro fight, all the way up into world titles, and I got to experience that type of life. Then I decided to fight since I was doing all the dieting and everything he was doing. So I fought quite a few times. Never lost. 8 pro fights. I got to spar with some great fighters as I was trying to do my thing as a pro.
Yeah.
I worked with there's times I've worked with Kelly. I worked with Sergio Martinez. I worked with Sergio Moore. I worked with a lot of guys, man. Lucas Matiz, Campillo. Just a lot of guys I ended up working with, and I learned a lot from it. A lot, and now it's a transition to try to use what I've learned since I worked with the Garcias, and I worked with Gabriel Sarmiento, and I worked with all the fighters I was naming. I'm trying to transition and use all that knowledge and pass it on to these guys. That's pretty much my background.
Yeah, I like going back on that. I mean, I could tell about what was that going on 5 years ago. Can you believe that already, man? That I was out there.
Yeah.
But like you and Cecilio kind of had like that. It seemed like that partnership even then. I mean, we go running on all the guys like I mentioned earlier. Blanco, Rodney Ellis, the Mexican Russian, me, and we all go work out and kind of. Cecilio had you, pretty much doing the warm up stuff, and you were one like coaching it, the guider, and you'd have us do like the certain aerobic exercises and stuff like that. So, I mean, I think that was kind of a prelude into what you're doing now,
Right. And what's crazy is like, I heard Cecilio had 2 other guys interviewed for this position, and he tried them out, and he said that it was no good. And you guys told me this, and I didn't know that. I mean, that I was on the trial period, and because I mean, my past isn't too. I wasn't the best of guys. I had my problems. That who doesn't, right? But I was trying to surpass that and leave that in the dust and try to do right and better myself, better my life, better my family's life. And I was going to school just to do this. And my thing was I wanted to be a strength and conditioning coach and a boxing trainer, so that way I was one shot, one kill. Yeah. You don't need to hire a bunch of guys. You hire me, you do both, and that's it.
Yeah.
But he gave me the opportunity, and I guess he told you guys over there in Maryland that it was the best decision he ever made. And our partnership, me and Cecilio, I'm telling you, we're like brothers, man.
Yeah.
When I'm over here in another state with the fighters, we're constantly messaging each other. If he's in another state with the fighters, he's constantly messaging me. We're talking, as much as possible, staying in communication. And after the fight, right away, we're congratulating each other and telling each other that we couldn't have did it without each other. It's perfect, man. The thing worked out fine, and it worked out great. And I'm just going to take advantage of it, and I want to try to make it to be one of the better trainers in the sport.
Well, I mean, like I said, you've came a long way. I mean, we're proud of you. I know I am. I mean, speak, from where you started at to where you are now.
Yeah, man.
And you guys are busy as hell too. I mean, I don't want to keep harping on it, but when he explained to me when we were out there, I was like, what happened with Roger? And he explained, he's like, he goes, we need him back home. He's got, we got so many guys fighting within a month. We got a fight coming up in 2 weeks. With a couple of guys. So, you're busy like that. That's also very good too.
Right, but it's it's crazy. This year's flown by for me. Like I don't even understand where all the time has gone this year. I'm like, man, and it is. I mean, look, I'm up by 6:30, 6 o'clock, and I'm heading to the gym to go work with. We actually started working with Maureen Shea. She's a 2-time world champion.
Oh yeah, Maureen Shea.
She was about She was about to step out of the game, and she met up with Cecilio. So now we're working with her. We're working with her, and then So, and then by the time we're done with her, the other guys, all the group of guys come in. I'm done about 10 or so. I get home. I'll have breakfast. I try to get a workout in. I'm trying to get big like Kelly, because Kelly's looking like a monster over there. I don't know what he's doing. He's trying to campaign a
Oh, you
comeback
take
at
back all
heavyweight.
those things you said a couple months ago on Facebook,
And
huh?
I think Kelly's trying to fight Anthony Joshua over there. So I gotta put my thighs on him. So I try to get a workout in, and then I'm back
this,
at it.
No, I want all the fans out there listening. He says this now, okay? But tonight I'll go bust a crack on him, and he'll sit there, and the first thing he'll say is about my belly. That'll be the first thing he'll say. Like, hey, stupid, why don't you do something with that belly? That'll be the first thing he'll say. You know, I could have biceps hitting the top of the ceiling and be huge, and the first thing he'll bring up like, you're fat.
Yeah, but that's what powerlifters supposed to be.
Yeah, that's what friends do, I guess. You know, I'm over
Yeah,
there.
no, well, we gotta get at each other and put each other down a little bit just to bring each other up.
I remember the first time I bought a garden hose.
Yeah. But see, at the same time, though, we know how good each one of us is doing, and especially I seen a picture the other day. I was like, damn, what the hell's going on over there? So, man, that's good. So I try to do that, but then by the time I get back to it, I rest a bit, and I have to get back to the gym. Back at the gym.
Well, that keeps you. That clears your head too. You got to have your time. That's I go work out, and I'm not getting to the gym as much as I like to. But I go, at like 9:00 at night, man. I don't get home till sometimes 1:30 in the morning, and I'm tired as shit. But that's kind of like my away time from the entire day too. Because if you didn't have that, even though you're doing what you love, it would get repetitious, and it would eventually come to a point like, not where you're sick of it, but you just need a little bit of time to yourself, and that's good that you still do what you want to do, because that makes you feel better.
Great.
Yeah. Right. I mean, you work out, your body releases endorphins, and it feels good. And if you look good, you feel good. It's written. You know what I mean? If you're looking good and you look in the mirror and you're like, man, I look good, you're gonna feel good always, and you're gonna perform better in your work too.
True.
I don't look
you
good.
I don't want to be in the corner looking soft. I want to be in the corner and even their opponents are gonna be like, damn, that guy's pretty big.
You gave me a complex. I don't look in the mirror to see how good I'm looking. I look in the mirror to see if I got any stretch marks around my belly, you asshole.
Hey,
Roger said I was fat yesterday on Facebook, man.
They're not stretch marks. They're tiger stripes for all the shit we put up.
Yeah. You guys are too much, man.
Hey, man. We don't even talk about the stories, the stuff that you do. You remember when we go on our Sunday, what was it? Every Sunday we go on our brunch runs.
Yeah, man.
Every Sunday, every brunch run was wild, man. Every brunch, we knew we were gonna get into some shit.
Well, I couldn't imagine.
Hey, we go this brunch run, right? And this place it's high end in Calabasas. This is a different story. Remember, we're in the back of the line, and even the celebrities were on the waiting list. Remember that?
Yeah.
Even celebrities are on a waiting list, right? Like fucking Kardashians have to wait to get in. I mean, it's like that, And
yeah.
Roger goes up to the woman. The woman remembers Roger. And she's like, oh, let me get you a seat. She takes us all the way past all these rich fucking people. They were mad as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
And then they gave us the whole...
Yeah.
We were doing mimosas. And the guy said, I'm going to give you... Here's a mimosa. And I'm going to hold the orange juice. And gave us a big-ass bottle of champagne.
Wow.
Yeah, man. We had a good time.
He left it there. He left the
bottle of champagne.
I go, Jay, how come we walk to the front of the line, and how come they give us our table, and how come they give us a bottle of champagne? I think I have it filmed, and then you take a big old swig of the champagne, and I was like, fuck.
Well, they brought the table. They made a table. They just didn't put us that table. They brought a table out and put a...
Oh, you're right. You're
right.
What about when we went to... We went to Sagebrush. That was the other place.
Sagebrush, where
the Kardashians live.
Where you put your hand in Hillary Duff's face and told her quit talking bad about Jesus.
Dude, what was you thinking on that? I think I talked to you. I talked to you the next day after that and asked you why you did that, and you're like, I don't give a shit.
You know what? If you ever need proof on the story, if you ever see Lance Whitaker, former heavyweight contender. Lance Whitaker was there.
Yeah.
And we walk into this club, right? I'm gonna tell the fans because I love the story. We walk into Sagebrush. It's owned by the Kardashians or whatever. It's their place. Anyway, this place is just all celebrities, all through Calabasas. I mean, we were there. That dude from what was the dude that Randy was it that Randy Couture? Remember him from the UFC? And I was talking about his wife's big tits, and I didn't know that was him.
Yeah, I used to do autograph signings with Randy.
You remember him when we were sitting there? We were drinking the. Oh, anyway, his wife was sitting there. Remember, she was talking, and she was talking to that girl that you were with, and I was, and then I said something about her tits. He looks over at me and he goes, "Do you know who that is?" I said, "Who?" And that's Randy Couture. I'm like, "Oh, okay." About this girl's tits.
I don't remember what that guy's name was.
It was Randy Couture.
Randy's a real nice dude.
What?
Is that who it was?
Yeah, the dude, the MMA dude. I should have known because I was too drunk to look and see the knot up ears on the side. That both his ears were knotted up. I should have paid attention to that. That they were cauliflower ears, you know.
Right.
But we were in there for the fans. We were in this club. Anyway, we were getting ready to walk. It was brunch. We were getting to walk out later on in the afternoon. I don't know. And at that moment, Miranda Cosgrove from iCarly and Hillary Duff are walking in. And these guys are surrounding them, and they're just saying dumb stuff. I don't know what they're saying to them. Anyway, Hillary Duff runs up to where we're at in our direction, and she says, she looks at Roger and says, "Oh, my God." She says, "Will you do me a favor and pretend you're my boyfriend?" She goes, "Maybe these guys will leave me alone." And Roger's in bad shape, man. We drank a lot of alcohol. And she said, she goes, "Jesus Christ." And Roger looks at her and says, "Don't ever talk about Jesus again." And Roger picks her up and moves her on the corner. And when she goes to talk again, and he puts his hand on her lips, like to shut her up. I was like, dude, you did not just do that to Hillary Duff. And he goes, "I don't know who Hillary Duff is. I don't know what a Hillary Duff is." He goes, "But my brother's Fernando Vargas." He's like, "Oh."
Hey, Roger, we got to go out there when I come out there. I want to go to that place.
We will.
No, well, absolutely, man. We got to go for sure. But
Hey,
this time
Kelly's not famous enough to go there. Did you tell him?
Yeah, what was that?
Kelly's not famous enough to go there.
Yeah, maybe like by this time next year. Kelly.
You know what? We'll just add something onto my resume or something. You know, like I'm now like actor or whatnot. I'm getting ready to go on Dancing with the Stars or something like that.
It's sad, but Kelly's been offered.
Hey, you'll be surprised, man. I've been getting more attention now than I did 5 years ago.
Yeah.
You didn't do Dancing with the Stars?
No, I didn't.
He's gonna do Dancing with the
No,
Kids.
it was a pitch that we were going to. A buddy of mine, he's a manager with Sony Records, has a lot of big artists, actually, and I've been working in with him. Actually, you know, we got some things that he's going to involve me in, and or talking about it, and he threw that out there about a year ago, exactly almost 1 year ago today, and I was like, "Dude, no way." He's like, "Listen, you ain't got to do it." He's like, "You'll just, get your name out there and it'll get in the tabloids and stuff." He's like, "Then you can pull out, say like there's an injury." I was like, "No, no, that's not happening." So
anyway, Roger.
Well,
hey, what's up?
I would do it.
I know you would. You're a media whore. You'll do it,
dude. I never paid attention. Hey, I never really paid attention to Dancing with the Stars, and I see some of the ladies on there, and like afterwards, I was kind of kicking myself in the ass. I'm like, "Oh my God,
yeah,
what the fuck did I just say no to?"
Yeah.
Hey,
that's why I said I would do it.
Kelly Pavlik with Dancing with the Stars, sponsored by Little Seizures.
Hey, but Kelly Pavlik's got 2 left feet. He can't dance.
No, his feet turned normal now since he's been lifting. He has good balance now.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, man. It was like he turned like Johnny Five. He got all athletic and stuff. Like he's a machine now.
I always dance.
You remember Johnny Five?
I got the best 2 left feet you ever seen in your life.
So what do we got coming up? We got some fights coming out. We got Kovalev. What do you think about that, you guys?
I got Kovalev. I got Kovalev.
Yeah.
I think Ward's pissed him off just enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's pretty pissed. Yeah, I've seen him. I've seen him a few times, man, and almost daily. Actually.
I will tell you a story though. When we were in D.C. for the Lomachenko fight, we ran into Kovalev's nephew. You know the little blonde, kid. Remember Georgie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Georgie snitched all over Kovalev. We're not going to go on the air, but Georgie snitched on Kovalev.
Well, why? What did you say?
About Kovalev's training habits.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that was too. I guess you guys, nobody was lying.
No, well, remember when we talked about what Kovalev was doing back in the day?
Yeah.
How he trained? Well, I told Kelly that, and Kelly's like, no, you guys are bullshitting. Well, Georgie told the same story.
But going into that fight, man, I kind of I'm mixed on that one, and I really don't want to call it because the first fight, Kovalev came out, man. He was just dominating. He dropped Ward, had that fight, but what Ward did that second half of the fight, out of his boxing wittiness, I guess to say, and his strategy, he turned that fight around. Made that fight as close as it was. So now that makes me think on it. I'm like, well, now he has all this time to prepare for the rematch. He's going to go over, break the film down, study. And he's going to have a hell of a game plan going in. But then the other part of me says, what happens when he gets caught again, though? And what happens, because Kovalev is that big of a puncher where all he's got to do is tap you and everything could change again. I think it's going to be, it's going to be a really interesting fight.
I think Kovalev can also adapt as well, too, and change change what he does.
Right. I think... honestly, like James was saying, he's pissed. You know what I mean? But it just depends on how you fight with that aggression, with that anger. You could make that anger just like you can make that anger make you like fire and make you hot, or you can control your anger and make you perform sharp. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on how you control your anger. And I think that the first fight, honestly, I don't care what Kelly just said right now about him. I don't think he turned it around. Honestly, he was hugging, and then Kovalev was a constant aggressor, and he was the champion. And they were giving Ward rounds it was absurd. Like, come on, dude, this is the champion, and it wasn't even fair. They didn't have one champion out of Eastern Europe or anywhere, even in overseas. All the champions are from the U.S.
Yeah, but Roger,
all the judges.
When I say turn it around, I still thought Kovalev won that fight. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying he turned it around compared to the first round. The first round he got hurt. Which I thought he was going down there. The second round he got dropped. I'm talking about compared to the first couple rounds.
Right.
And I agree with you on that. The reason why I didn't think Ward won was because even in the clinches, he would land like one good body shot, and the commentators were like, "Oh, he landed a good body shot." Landing one punch around to the body don't make you win a round. It don't convince me that somebody won a round. And that's why I gave it to Kovalev the way I did. Right. But I'm just saying, compared to the beginning of the fight, how he adapted, it was a big difference, and a big change.
Yeah. I think honestly the reason why he was able to do that, I think Kovalev might have tired a bit towards the later rounds, maybe all the excitement or the height of the fight. I'm not saying that Kovalev was never under the big show or the big lights before, but it's a fight of that magnitude to be considered the man. You know what I mean? Yeah. A lot of people may say, "Oh, that won't get to you," but pressure's a motherfucker.
And I heard
it could, So
I heard Kovalev say too that I heard Kovalev say too that he's going to train different also. For in an interview for the fight, because sometimes he relies on the power punches.
Well, I was there when camp started for Kovalev and Oxnard. You remember that when camp started? The first day he came in, he weighed every bit of 230 pounds. So he had a lot of, and he didn't look fat. He's just a big guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
he carries weight like on his shoulders. He's a big dude.
Yeah, and I knew he was going to spend a lot of time taking weight off and not really formulate much of a game plan.
Mm-hmm.
I also read, I don't know if this is true or not, or if you can say it, but they said that him and Olsek was sparring in camp, and Olsek was putting it on him.
Well, Actually, I don't know. I mean, they would do good, man. And it was cruiserweight.
Yeah.
So
well, they were saying that Usyk
it was
would
good
just.
sparring. It was actually really good sparring.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of other guys that he was sparring with Vosdick as well. I mean, Vosdick, you guys saw him over there. He's a beast.
Yeah, we saw.
So,
Remember Vosdick at 175?
Yeah.
He was the one that wanted Kelly to come watch his fight.
Yeah. He's fighting again in July. He's got a fight coming up soon. So.
Well, with that amount of fighters, I mean,
those-
going into this second Ward fight, there's no lack of sparring and talent out there. So, that's another thing, too. The preparation for the fight's going to be big.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I think Kovalev, when I was leaving yesterday, I mean, I looked at him. He's looking nice. He's looking pretty leaned out already. So, like I said, I think he's just pissed and he wants to pick his health back up. But
Yeah.
it's not easy. It's not gonna be an easy fight. I know that, but I'm rooting for him. I hope he pulls it off because I mean, I thought the first time he didn't get a fair shake, and I hope this time he does.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with that.
Well, I got to see Igis Kalaviskas. Is that how you say his name?
Oh,
Who's
my
that?
boy, Igis.
Oh, Kavalasov.
Yeah, he
Igis
fought Chicago.
Kavalasov.
He walked through that dude.
Yeah, he won by knockout.
Let me ask
He
you,
won by knockout.
out of all these young fighters, these Eastern Europeans, do you have which ones have the most upside? Which I know you're gonna say all of them do, but which ones are standing out right now?
Well, I think honestly, the next guy to probably come out of there is probably going to be. It's either going to be Aegis or Vesputin. Vesputin just beat Prescott not too long ago. But it's just because of the fact that they have more fights already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it'll be in order. It's not going to be like these guys are still the other guys are still building up. You know what I mean? But Aegis has more fights, and they're moving him constantly. I think they're trying to get him closer to a title shot, even if it's a North American, to get him up there on the rankings, whatever it is. So,
Yeah.
I think it's between those two guys. And you've seen them; they're explosive. They can fight, and I think they have a great shot at winning a world title. Why not? You know what I mean? They work hard in the gym. Kavalasov, he's a hard worker, man.
Well, they keep winning. They got no choice but to put somebody in front of them, with a good record or a ranking or an eventually world title. I mean, nobody's especially coming from that camp. Nobody's going to go 28-0 without being noticed and getting a shot.
Right. And that's the thing about Aegis Klimas. He doesn't try to baby his fighters. You know what I'm saying? He tries to get them fights that they're going to be tested in. And he'll only do so much for so long, and then all right, let's go.
They got to sink or swim on their own, right?
Yeah, and that's what I like about that Klimas is what he does, man. He can only do so much for you, and you gotta show what you're about,
Yeah, exactly. So so on that, like what we're talking about, don't you guys have a K1 champion, a former K1 champion as well, right? Kickboxing champion that made the transition to boxing.
Yeah, Enrique Gogokia. He's fighting on the undercard of Kovalev War.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is it welterweight?
He's he was fighting at 54 in the beginning, but he saw that the size difference, and it's not like K1. You know what I'm saying? It's different. It's boxing, so you could be heavier in kickboxing, and you're able to use your legs. That doesn't matter,
Yeah.
So in boxing is different. All you got is your hands, and it's a lot different when you're fighting a junior middleweight that it's wearing 10-ounce gloves, or you're going to fight at welterweight with 8-ounce gloves.
True.
So he decided to drop down to 47. He's doing his last fight was at 49. He won by knockout. This fight's at 47, but he's fighting a tough opponent. His opponent's 8-0, 5 knockouts.
Wow.
So yeah. Oh, it's gonna be it's kind of a test fight for him as well. It's early, but he was a K1 champion, so they want to see what he's got. So
before we let you go, we wanted to ask you. We know you've grown up with Mikey Garcia since he was a baby. You've known Mikey since he was a little baby.
Right.
Who do you got with Mikey and Lomachenko? I know Lomachenko's your guy, but I mean they're gonna fight if it happens. How's this fight gonna play out to you?
I don't know if it is going to happen, to be honest with you.
Well,
It looks like Mikey's gonna fight
we don't
Brock.
know either, but it's something to talk about. And,
Honestly, I mean, like you just said, we grew up together. Garcia was, pretty much family to us. But I get paychecks from Lomachenko's work.
yeah.
So imagine how torn a person has to be.
Yeah.
I can't root for. I mean, see,
I know you can't.
Lomachenko, is the
No,
reason
I
why,
don't want you to root. I want to know how the fight's going to play out to you.
I think honestly that fight is who wins that fight is the fucking fans who win that fight, because Mikey is the type of fighter that doesn't waste punches. Everything he does is precise and accurate. If he does a certain movement, it's for a reason.
Yeah.
If he's throwing a punch, it's because he's going to land it. He's not going to waste any punches.
Yeah.
Lomachenko, his speed is blinding. His angles are crazy. It's something that I'm sure Mikey, he's seen a lot of fighters, but I don't think he's
seen that.
Anything like that. But I think Mikey could adjust to that, but I think Lomachenko could adjust to Mikey's power. So basically what's going to happen is it's going to be who's more technically sound that night. And that's like a pick'em to me,
I told...
I want to know who takes it, honestly.
I want to know who... I was talking to Kelly, and I said, Kelly, as good as Lomachenko is, we have not seen the best of Lomachenko. I said, in sparring, he's way faster than he was in that fight. He was playing with that kid.
Yeah.
I just think Lomo's on a different level, but when you get into it like you're breaking down, you made a very good point with Mikey Garcia. He has... everything he does, there's a reason behind it and a plan. And, his footwork. And he's just not only a heavy-handed puncher, but he's got very good boxing skills. And, I think and he's naturally, I think, bigger than Lomo. But I don't know. I mean, it's just one of those fights. Again, you sit there and go, oh, this guy could beat him. But Lomachenko is just so talented. I mean, he just does things that I haven't seen. So that's why it'd be a very interesting, fight to see.
Mikey. I mean, Mikey. If you want to know how smart of a fighter Mikey is, just speak to him.
Oh yeah.
His intellectual level is high too. It's not like it's just boxing with him. He's smart. He's a smart guy.
No, we've spoke to him many times here.
Yeah.
What was that?
We've spoke to him. We've had him on the show. All that stuff too. And
yeah, I heard it. And he talked about the incident when we were kids and
with the ice cream.
Tell the Big G that he wanted an ice cream.
Yeah.
You guys used the baby to get ice cream for the whole car.
Yeah, man. I mean, come on. But Mikey laughed at it too.
Yeah.
I seen Mikey the other day. We were talking, and he told me, he goes, dude. He was asking him how my daughter was. He asked me how Felix, because he goes, I remember Felix. Man, that's my boy. He goes, that was the first person I ever sparred.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of history with the Garcias. There's a lot of love, and there's no love lost with them. And Robert even told me when he left, he goes, I just couldn't do it no more, Raj. Going back and forth, and it was too much work. And he goes, dude, you and Marco can do it. He goes, your shit. Marco knows his shit. So he said he basically gave us his blessing and said, and if we needed anything from him, that he'd be right there. So, I mean, this just goes to show you the type of people Garcia's are. Noble, and they'll still show you love if you need it. If you need help. I mean, that's big of Robert for him to do something like that. So, I'm grateful for that. And for Robert leaving, I was able to have an opportunity to try to do something with myself. And I'll always be grateful for that with them. And so that's why I tell you, it's hard for me to choose who over who.
Yeah.
Because,
well, we knew that. So
either way, yeah. Either way, it was an opportunity from
James
both sides too.
likes putting people on the spot, man.
Yeah. We got to ask.
Hey, okay, Roger.
James likes to make his friends Dalmatians and just put mad spots on them.
All right, listen, homie. All right, we really gotta let you go, but I need you to do one more thing though before you go. I need you to give me a Mr. Herbert from Family Guy.
All right, hold on. Let me see. Hi, just calling to see how the Pacquiao is doing. Hoping to bring me some good news.
All right, can you give us one more little thing on what Pacquiao is going to do in his upcoming fight?
I'm getting ready for my next fight because the people think I don't have the abilities to be the best man anymore. But I am going to work hard and show them it's not just about the Congress, because I'm still the best. I still have my speed, power, so I'm going to do it.
All right, man. Hey, Roger, honestly, man, it was great having you on and everything else.
Hey, man, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you guys having me on, and I'm looking for you guys in the show to keep doing as good as it's doing and do better. And you know, I talk to you guys not just on the show. I talk to you guys all the time. So
Yeah.
you know, we'll be in communication within a few hours or so we can
I'll
talk
get
better
at
about everything.
Oh yeah, and,
for sure, brother.
we want you to come on as much as possible too. You know.
I'm with it, man. And we got to do one. I'm gonna try to get my brother so we can do it together. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, listen, we're going to be putting on boxing shows too here. So like amateur
Nice.
and we're going to tap into a lot of things. You know, we're going to explore. So
Bring some
Nice.
kids from California up here.
You guys definitely, man. That'd be dope. And I know my brother will bring his fighters
Yeah.
out to participate.
Yeah,
So,
do that.
You know?
yeah.
Yeah, man, for sure, man. I mean, you guys, it's always good talking to you guys, man. You guys are more than friends to me. You guys are my brothers, and I love you guys, man.
I love you too, bro.
Love you too, Roddy. I will talk to you.
Thanks, buddy. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Well, talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
You're listening to the Punchline with Kelly Pavlik and James Dominguez, and just finishing up the interview with Roger Romo. You know, a good friend of ours, very good friend. But you know, the main thing for bringing him on was because of the connections he has now in the boxing and who he's working with, who he's training, the amount of talent. Just not the world champions. You know, that's the obvious to bring him on and talk about Lomachenko and Kovalev and guys like that. But just the amount of talent that that is going through Oxnard, California, right now, from Eastern Europe, you know,
Yeah.
the amount and how deep it goes with fighters, and how deep the depth chart is of fighters over there. So I thought it was a really good interview and interesting to find out, you know, his take on a couple things.
Well, you know, it's funny. You always hear these boxing hotbeds. People are always going to talk about New York. They're going to talk about Philly. They're going to talk about Chicago. They're going to talk. But I think at a certain point, I think you have to start recognizing Oxnard as one of the main hotbeds of boxing. This town has 100,000 people in it and produced 21 champions.
Exactly. Well, you know, not to be a hater on that, but how many world champions from Oxnard, born and raised?
3.
Yeah.
But okay, they
I
were
mean,
still.
people go there. You know,
They came there without a title, and they left with a title, though.
I mean, if you really want to get, and I hate to even give these people credit for it or say anything. Well, besides, I love Harry Roy and the other guys, but Youngstown, Ohio, literally five world champions, born, raised, you know, in a 35 year period.
I'm going to give the city the credit for it. It was just like Joe Louis. Who do you give credit for? Do you give him Alabama the credit for it?
That plays.
or do
And
you give New York
I agree
credit
with
for
you
it, you know what I mean?
because if you really want to get down to the nitty gritty, that's like the Kronk Gym in Detroit.
Yeah.
I mean, really, how many world champions were from that area
Few.
that trained at that gym?
Lots of them.
You know,
Yeah.
Was there a lot from Detroit?
Well, yeah. Well, not from Detroit. That train there.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a lot that
No,
went
there might have been a half a dozen or so from Detroit.
Yeah.
Well, Sugar Ray Robinson, Detroit.
Yeah, but did he train at that Kronk
Kronk
gym?
didn't even exist then.
You know, so that's kind of, but not so much that the gymnastics. But I'm just, you know, we got to watch how we really.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but
But you know, as far as boxing, you know, where people are coming from,
they're going there as contenders and leaving champions, though.
Exactly. So I mean, it's a hotbed right now, and a lot of talent coming out.
I think California as a whole, Los Angeles as a whole,
Well, it's a great place to go train at too, though, because of
the weather.
you know, other gyms like for your amateur program, all the other gyms how many? I mean, there's a shitload of fighters and amateur fighters out of California,
And it's not hard to find sparring there.
No, it's an ideal place for a boxing gym or, you know, to have a professional training camp at. So
Yeah.
But well, we're gonna wrap it up for this week's show. I thought it was a good one, and then we'll be back next week.
See you then.
All right.